I don't know how I'm going to start this video. I just don't know because this is like one of the weirdest videos that I have ever made in the history of YouTube. Is it fair if I call it weird? I don't think it's fair, but let me say one of the toughest videos I've had to make because I know the struggles that I had inside of me before I came to the decision to actually bring this here. And one of the reasons that I am bringing this here is because on creating my YouTube channel, I decided that I was going to be my most honest self. Like whatever opinion that I have, I believe that somebody out there has similar opinion. And usually we sometimes have opinions, interests, decisions, and all of that personally. But then we kind of feel weird about it because we don't know if we are standing alone. We just don't really know if it makes sense. So that's one of the reasons I decided to bring my opinions, my thoughts, whatever it is I am going through, my life journey, and my growth, to be vulnerable. So that's one of the reasons that I have decided to actually talk about this. Welcome back to another episode of Bed Series, where of course we get to talk about everything that singles go through, everything singlehood. In my previous video, I talked about marriage pressures, societal pressures, things that you are supposed to be interested in as well as a single, aside just focusing on how to get married, living in the moment, enjoying the present as a single person. Now, the next thing that is of interest to me, it comes to my mind once. For me to have thought about it a couple of times, I believe that it's coming from somewhere. So I want to share that. In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to stop talking in parables and we'll dive right into it. But before that, hi, my name is Ebube Okoye. Just in case you are seeing me for the first time, I hope you enjoyed this video. And I would love to see your comments to know if you've ever thought about this. I'm putting a sensor on this video. This is not for below 24, to be honest. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. Let's get into it, guys. Okay. Now I understand why some single ladies talk about babies, having babies before or even without being married. I have my thought around it. I have thought about it a couple of times of recent, especially since this year. Honestly, I don't really know how I feel about it yet. I haven't decided. It's still hanging. But all I can say is that I can relate now. I didn't used to relate before. And I'm not talking about, ladies that go to have babies for celebrities or, become baby mamas. Some ladies don't even want the father of their child to be in their life. Some people go for sperm donations and all of that. So I'm focusing on wanting kids for yourself and not wanting to have kids for someone for some reason. Maybe because the person has a lot of money, so you want to use the child to tap into the wealth. I'm not talking about that. Okay. So I'm opening up to that idea a little more because just imagine you as a single lady. You're not yet seeing the right partner for you. Honestly, I'm more interested in having children than I am in getting married. That's why you see, this marriage pressure of a thing doesn't really get to me. A partner is good, and I'm not saying that I'm not interested in having a partner, but I'm more interested in having kids earlier. But if the two come together, that's beautiful. But then we as ladies, we kind of like have a disadvantage because then you have to wait around for the right partner to come around. And then some of us, we get into relationships. Sometimes we get heartbroken before you are able to start loving again, to open up your heart again, to start trusting all over again. In fact, sometimes some of us, when we get out of relationships, we just look up. Nah, we are not interested in love for a long time. That's why I said if you are below 24, let me put it there. The censorship below 24, you cannot relate because you're just starting life, you're just starting to date. You why are you pressuring yourself about having kids or about not having a boyfriend or a fiance that will make you have kids? I don't see the need for that. I believe if you're from 26 or 25, you might actually understand the mindset. So that's it for some ladies. They're like, so after being in a relationship and then something happens along the line, you get to break up. And let's say, for example, the lady is already going to her 30s. I've mentioned the issue around some breakups that it affects the person's interest in getting into another relationship. Like for a long time, you lock up, you're not interested in love. And you really want to have kids, but at the same time, you don't want to get into a relationship. A lot of women have been heartbroken. For me, mine is naturally, I find it difficult to open up. My issue is that I'm usually scared of getting into the wrong hands, exposing my heart and putting my life on the line just because I want to find love. So sometimes some people, some some brethren approach me, and that initial fear contributes to how I react to their advances. Sometimes I react like, no, I'm not interested, and I don't even give them attention. But when I now get home and think through it, I'm like, I should have given this person a chance. What's wrong? But then I know what's wrong actually. It's just that questioning that goes on in my head like, who is this person? Could this person be from the pit of hell as well? Because trust me. No, this is not a joke. I'm serious. This is the way it goes on in my head. I may not even be able to verbally interpret my thought process, but in summary, people have demons, you know. The process of meeting someone and then getting to know who they truly are, I don't know, it's just really a lot of things. But anyway, let's wrap it up there for that. But one thing I'm not going to do is let a man deny me of having kids. Yeah, but one of the things that is holding me back on that is bringing in religion. It's making me have a second thought on that. But then at the same time, will you really consider it a wrong thing to do to have a baby for yourself? You know what? With time, I'll I'll get to conclude on that. But honestly, I'm more interested in having kids, in having a lot of money, in being very successful than I am in just answering a Mrs. For the ladies, you know, marriage is something that is usually beyond our control because it's a man's world over there. The man decides when he proposes, the man decides when the relationship moves forward. If you're not ready to follow his timing, then bye. Bye, sis. So that's it there. But then I'm not trying to deny the fact that a partner is important. And I'm not trying to put down those that want to have someone to spend the rest of their lives with. It's okay to crave that. It's okay. I love kids. I don't have one yet, but I can imagine the feeling looking at someone from your loins. I called my mom the other day. I just didn't know how she was going to react about the question that I eventually asked her, but I eventually called her. I'm like, I want to ask you a question. She said, okay, go on. Pick one. Having your grandchildren or me having a lot of money. So of course, like me having a lot of money means more spoiling for her, right? So without hesitating, she's like, grandchildren. Without even asking why I asked anyway. But she eventually asked, so why do you ask? That was the next question after answering grandchildren. She's like, why do you ask? I said, okay, because I'm about to channel my energy on one. Either I'm going to pursue being way successful and having a lot of money, just plenty money and a lot of that. Or I'm going to try and have a kid or a child now. And of course, one is going to suffer because there's a level of success I haven't attained that I want to attain. So if I'm to bring in a child now, if I'm to attain that level of success within the next 1 year, it might, there's a probability, right? It's not certain. It might elongate it to 2 years, 3 years, because it's not easy to take care of kids. Or I focus on attaining that level of success and then later on having grandchildren. And that means that the grandchildren might come later. So at the end of the day, one is going to suffer for the other one to move ahead. So if she had picked me attaining that level of success, then I would have been like, okay, so that means I am not going to feel any guilt of not giving you grandchildren at an early age or at a certain age. I'm not going to feel that guilt. So, but then she didn't pick me being successful. I wished that she had picked it. I'm like, why didn't you just pick this? Yo, my brother is getting married next month. Grandchildren is coming now soon now, so just pick me being successful. So we kind of like had a conversation around having a child without being married. You guys, I don't want to let out her response towards that, but you can tell what an African mom would say. I mean, she didn't overreact. I feel like based on how I explained it, then all that I said earlier was like the kind of conversation that we had around that. Well, I'm just having baby fever, but I'm not really ready. You guys give me a year. But let me know. Tell me, will you be surprised if I come out here to declare that I'm having a baby? Will you be surprised? Well, don't even be surprised. Okay. But you guys, I really love to know your thoughts. I really love to know your thoughts. Drop your comments. Let me see them. Let me know why you aren't married yet. Is it failed relationship issues, or you haven't seen the one at all, or you just aren't interested? Let me know below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.